Hello, hello. Back to West Dorset. Temperature. Barely 11 degrees in the greenhouse. It feels warmer than it is outside, but not a lot. Anyway, I'm a bit late this year getting my peas started. I usually start them off in gutters, and I'm going to start them in gutters again now. Only difference being I've reduced the size of the gutter now. I've gone down to 24-inch lengths. Simple reason is they're easier to transport around the place, and they're easier to get the peas out and into the ground when they've got going. You know, you can have a 6-foot length or an 8-foot length and it's absolute bloody nightmare. I like making life easy. So all we do is we put a piece of wood over the end. Well, this is what I do, put a piece of wood over the end, put it in the compost. Anyway, I'll do it. Here we go. And this is a right mixture of old stuff from last year, a bit of vermiculite, some fresh stuff from this year, Grow More, which I do like. I do like the Grow More compost. It does work well. I think with it coming from Ireland, I think this might be the last batch that'll have peat in it. But it does help. I do like having the bit of peat in there. I know people shout about the fact that there's peat-free compost that's just as good. Well, I'll believe it when somebody shows me one, because what I've seen so far is all a load of rubbish. And no matter what you do, if the compost is rubbish when you start, your plants ain't going to thrive. If your plants don't thrive, then you ain't going to get food on your plate. It's alright if you can afford to go out and spend £30 for a bag of compost. I've just been out and bought 10 bags. I can't afford to spend £300 on a bit of compost. So there we go, we got the compost in. Now all I've got to do is just tap that down a little bit with a wooden block. I don't want to go too mad, don't want to make it too hard. Here we go, and I will actually just knock in some holes here. I ain't worried about how far apart they are. A couple of inches is ideal. Stay away from the end a little bit so that when you start off you don't tip them all out on the ground. There you go, that'll do. That's enough for in there. That'll give a good crop. And my favourite peas, Alderman. Absolutely fantastic peas. I love them. I'm not going to wet them and get them ready. They can go straight in the holes and take their chances. Because that's how gardening should be. Don't fuss about it too much. Unless you've got to. If you've got to fuss, I don't know, do so, but I don't. Chuck them in. There we go. And I got 5 lengths, so this will do a 10-foot bed. Might even have 6. I can't remember now. I did cut some down just now in the workshop. It's quite funny actually, because last year I grew a load. Put them in the freezer in a freezer bag. Wife went to move them, bottom dropped out the bag, and all the peas went in the freezer, all in amongst all the rest of the stuff. So I think they're still there. They're down the bottom somewhere. That's life. That's my fault for not checking the bag before I put them in, according to the wife. There we go. Right, another scattering over the top. Not too much. Don't want to make it too proud from the top, because in a minute we've got to water them. And these will go in the high top greenhouse in a minute. There's a shelf on the end, so the mice and everything, they can't get up there. Well, if they do, if they can get up there, they're welcome to the peas. There you go. But there you go. That's it. Quite simple. Water it down, put them back to one side, let them germinate, and when they're about 3-4 inches tall, they can go out in the ground. And there you go, that's today. Change plant, keeping them in here. I keep an eye on them better. So basically they're all in the gutters now, look. And what I've done is I've put a piece of wood over the top, and the wood will just retain the moisture. Hopefully it'll deter anything from getting in there and having to dig about. And I'll check it every day. I'll start checking in about 5 days time, and as soon as I see any green start to pop up, then I'll take the wood off and let them grow. So keep on gardening.